Alrighty guys, we're back for some mono white creature aggro, and this is a March of the Machine standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? A new piece of removal, Elspeth's Smite. This is a 1 mana instant speed. Elspeth's Smite deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Yeah, I don't think this is half bad at all. I actually think it's pretty good. I think it's going to do wonders in here, huh? We got 4 Hopeful Initiates, just a great way to also be able to destroy artifacts and enchantments when it comes time, but just a powerful creature overall, so we'll see. We got 4 Intrepid Adversaries. Being able to buff a wide board state is going to be important in here, and the lifelink goes a very long way. We got 4 Resolute Reinforcements going wide. We got 3 Thalias. Since it is a creature aggro deck, Thalia is very good, and Thalia's been doing way too much to all of my builds recently, so maybe we'll be able to do a lot to the opponent's builds as well. 3 Adelines in here, very powerful creature, helping us go wide. 4 Brutal Cathars, very powerful, a piece of creature removal, right? Got a couple Elesh Norns. This is a 4 mana 3/5 with Vigilance, and whenever a source an opponent controls deals damage to you or a permanent you control, that source's controller loses 2 life unless they pay 1 mana. Oh my goodness, guys, nice. It's a very powerful 4-drop creature, and then it has for 2 and a white, sacrifice 3 other creatures, exile Elesh Norn, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, activate only as a sorcery. So when you transform it, it comes back as the Argent Etchings. So it's a saga, and the first chapter, incubate 5 times, incubate 2 5 times, right? Then transform all incubator tokens. So you get 5 2/2 tokens essentially right away. And then Chapter 2, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain double strike until the end of turn. Well, if that doesn't win you the game, then I don't know what will, right? And then on Chapter 3, destroy all other permanents except artifacts, lands, and Phyrexians, and then you exile this and you get the Elesh Norn back. So that's pretty cool overall. Now, that bottom ability will destroy a lot of your permanents too, but you'll get to keep like your incubators because those are Phyrexian, and we do have other Phyrexians in here as well, so overall, if you're not winning on that second chapter in a deck like this, then, I mean, it's already been a GG, right? So we got 3 Phyrexian Vindicators in here, and we might want all 4. I'm not really sure, though. So it's a 4 mana 5/5 with flying. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage, then when damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator deals that much damage to any target. So let's go to the front of the build here again. Elspeth's Smite deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So it can be a creature you control as well. So that's a pretty neat little thing where you can turn the Elspeth Smite into kind of a lightning bolt in this deck if you have the Vindicator on the board, which honestly could be enough to actually just win you the game with a swing off of the Vindicator at that point. So yeah, just something to consider, right? Vindicator is also great against decks like Mono Red, which we're seeing a lot of right now. So got all 4 Knight-Errant of Eos here. This is a 5 mana 4/4 with Convoke. Of course, Convoke is your creatures can help you cast this spell, which is awesome. And when it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less from among them, where X is the number of creatures that convoked Knight-Errant of Eos. Put the revealed cards into your hand, then shuffle. So in this deck, you probably want to, well, at least tap down 2 creatures to try to see some 2-drops. But if you can tap down 4 creatures, that's pretty good, man. Stocking up your hand with like a Vindicator and an Adeline is good enough to try all 4 of these, right? Top end, we got, of course, our 6 mana Steel Seraph, which does not work with the Knight-Errant very well, right? But I think it's still going to be worthwhile in here because, you know, prototype, 3 mana 3/3 with flying is already relatively solid. But we're really looking at this because of the ability to give other creatures in here flying, like the Adeline, for example. A flying Adeline is very powerful, but also Vigilance is fine if you're swinging in against like a Wandering Emperor. That's obviously open, right? Lifelink is terrific against all the aggro decks as well. I think Steel Seraph is going to be excellent in here, even though it doesn't work with our Knight-Errant very well. So 24 land total, 2 of them being a Seat of the Empire. Every now and then in an aggro build, I do like to have 2 Seat of the Empires, and kind of just treat it as 23 land with a little bit of extra removal, right? There are going to be games where just 2 Seat of the Empires does hold you up, though, so if you're worried about that, drop the Seat, go up that 4th Elspeth Smite, or just go up the other planes if you're not seeing enough mana, right? So, bunch of honorable mentions over here, guys. I thought about Crawling Chorus and another 1-drop here with, well, Skrelv, obviously, but Recruitment Officer. I almost just had the Recruitment Officer instead of the Hopeful Initiate, but I think Hopeful Initiate is actually just going to be great in here overall, especially since we're not playing with cards like Destroy Evil to be able to take care of it, enchantments and everything. We are still seeing a lot of enchantments and a lot of artifacts, so yeah, Hopeful Initiate was the choice. Lay Down Arms didn't make the list because I think Elspeth Smite is just going to be better in this one, and making it so that way our opponent doesn't gain 3 life is actually pretty huge overall. A Surge of Salvation was a card I considered, but I don't know if it's going to be necessary in here, and we just want a lot more creatures, right? Same concept with Invasion of Gobakhan. I think this card is excellent, but I don't think it's going to be too great in this particular list. Even though Light Shield Array, once this flips, man, I don't know, definitely something to consider. That's why it's in the honorable mentions, right? Valorous Stance I considered, right? Being able to protect our creatures could come in handy, but yeah. And Mage's Attendant could be really cool too, because it helps us go wide, and honestly, that Wizard is solid overall, so yeah. Okay, guys, that's the list. It's going to be a simple one, I think. I said that about the Defender list yesterday, and then there were just way too many options on a lot of my turns, so no, I think this one's much more, you know, up my alley, so let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, guys, right into that first match. What am I expecting from the list? Somebody send help, because I'm expecting a lot, man. And I don't know if I should be. Opponent goes first here. This isn't like a bad hand, necessarily. It's not like we have all the 1-drops in the world, so seeing 3 2-drops is not bad. A good chance to draw a 3rd land by the time it's ready to play Adeline, right? Yeah, I think this is fine. It's not the best, it's not the worst, right? Okay, keep 7. Especially when we have that early Thalia too, which can really hold opponents up. Might be up against like Selesnya enchantments or something. Whoa. Whoa, Kamano, okay. Honestly, mono red, we could get there. I mean, we definitely need to see the mana. That's for sure. I'm not convinced this was a mulligan hand though, by any means. I'm not convinced. But we'll see, right? Commander number 2 and Phoenix Chick? No Phoenix Chick. Uh-oh, guys, we're seeing a bunch of big cards here that we don't have the mana in hand to play. We really want to see the 3rd mana next turn. Etching flips and Squee, nice. Thalia's first strike doing a lot here. Taking out the etching is good. Taking 4 damage is not so good. Brutal Cathar for the Squee isn't like the greatest thing either. Intrepid Adversary blocking the Squee is pretty good. Alright, guys. We need to see that mana, at least like the next couple turns, right? Like, sure, we have our 2-drops, but we really want to see it off the top here. Elesh Norn would be excellent versus this matchup. Okie dokies, is it going to be a play with fire for the adversary? Okay, we get a little bit of life gain here, and we get that Squee off the board. Okay, that's not bad for us, guys. We have a chance. Oh no. Oh no. All right, we keep Resolute Reinforcements open, let them swing in and take care of those goblins, huh? Yeah, Mishra's Foundry. Guys, we're in some serious trouble not seeing the mana here. We do have 24 in the deck, and we do have to think. I could have mulliganed, but I like seeing a 2-mana hand definitely shouldn't be an instant mulligan, so let's take care of these goblins. Is that their third mana? This is going to be a tough uphill battle, guys. Even if we do see the third mana now, the Adeline, like, isn't going to be buffed enough to take care. Yeah, this isn't good, guys. This is not good. We could play Adversary to block the Foundry, but there's no guarantee that they don't find, like, a Play with Fire and instantly take it out. So, like, our Resolute Reinforcements chump at least one of them. Keep one on the board, so when we play Adeline, it'll be a 2/4. It's probably Resolute Reinforcements again, guys. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see it. I would... Well, we're at 10. Depending on what's in hand, I would just power up Foundry, but it depends, man. Wow. Just 2 damage to our face. I wonder what dragon they're playing to be able to run the invasion. That's neat, though. That's a neat addition. Maybe they just swing at the invasion, too. Maybe we just keep the reinforcements on the board. Yeah, they might just swing at the invasion, guys. Although double blocking the Foundry could be good, but they found Foundry number 2. Alright, we're going to let the invasion take the 4. We're going to play reinforcements, and we're going to see that land off the top, get this Adeline onto the board. Yes, we found the plains. Adeline is an excellent blocker, guys. This is excellent. I believe in us, man. We got to keep it all back. We don't know what they could see off the top. And 2 Foundries are able to power up here, so... Oh, you know the problem with Foundry? We're going to have to chump it, probably. Because they have enough to make it a 4/4. I believe in us. I do. I think if we see the 4th mana, too, it's probably just going to be like Intrepid Adversary. Buff everything. Wow. We don't know what's in hand. That is a problem, because if they have like a Play with Fire in hand... If we don't chump, they get the Thunder Maw, but then we can pick it up with Brutal Cathar next turn, too. Whenever a dragon you control attacks. Brutal Cathar hitting that might not be the best thing in the world, but... I'm gonna keep... Yeah, I think we let them take care of this and get the dragon instead of chumping. We could have double blocked an etching, but losing power on the Adeline might not be the greatest either. It depends. It really depends. Brutal Cathar. Number 2. There is a small problem with... Okay. With picking this up, because it should come back out as the invasion, right? Which means they'll be able to do another 2 damage here. Get an extra 1 swinging in. Gotta be prepared for the Mishra's Foundry. We just like keep everything back except for our beautiful Vigilance Adeline. Alright. Opponent finding spot removal off the top would not be unheard of here, and it honestly, it would just be normal. It wouldn't even be, like, particularly lucky or anything, you know what I mean? Yeah, GG opponent, let's go, guys! We got there, alright. Well... I mean, it took a couple turns to find the 3rd mana, but we have 24 in here, and we definitely don't want to talk about 25, I don't think. It was just like one of those games, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. What's really funny, too, is after a while there, like a Knight-Errant would have been a good draw, too, huh? Since we had, at one point, enough creatures to convoke it out nicely. Look, 3 mana in our opener. This is a good hand, guys. This is a good one. Oh, boy. Well, I hope Thalia hits next turn if this is going to be mono blue. Oh, no. Oh, dear. All right. We might honestly just want to go Resolute Reinforcements and anticipate a counterspell for the Thalia. So just keep 2 open. Resolute Reinforcements on their turn. If they let it hit, great. If they counter it, maybe we get that Adeline down. That's probably the best bet. I'm sorry, Thalia, not this time. Not this time. Third mana? Uh-huh. If they counter it... Oh, it lands without any issues. Fading Hopes? It lands without any issues? And Adeline before combat, because we're going to swing. Huh. Okay, Fading Hopes then, yeah. Okay, Fading Hope number 1. Get the Scry. And we swing. I'm not sure Mono Blue plays too many flash creatures. Fading Hope number 2, sure. Alright, we got 1 damage through. Nice. Still got these couple Adelines if they do end up... Ugh, terror. Oh, terror, that's going to be a pain. This is a great example of why we have cards in here to help us fly through, like the Seraph, right? And the Vindicator would be a good draw here, too. I mean, at this point, Thalia can come down, which might not be, like, the greatest. Might just be Adeline again. Knight-Errant for 1 isn't that great. I think Thalia's not bad, though. It puts us like a turn behind because we can't play anything else. But seeing that they didn't have counterspells, Thalia makes like everything in Mono Blue more expensive. Like if we would have been able to land the Thalia, these Fading Hopes being 2 mana would have been brutal for them, you know? Now they do have 5 mana though, so. But Thalia means they can't do the Flow of Knowledge or whatever it's called, which is a 5 mana card. I don't know. Adeline would have been good too. No great ways to swing into the terror though. Oh, buddy, we're in trouble. Okay, Seat of the Empire works against the Haughty Djinn at least. Alright, so Adeline, we have 2 mana open, and then see if they counter it. Nothing, guys, nothing. We're just going to take some damage next turn, and I think that's fine. We're going to try to restock our hand and find a Brutal Cathar. Okay, Brutal Cathar. Intrepid Adversary is pretty good too, huh? So Brutal Cathar. Going wide against Mono Blue is really good too, though. I think it's going to be Intrepid Adversary, though. We got so much mana, like buffing a huge board state here. This Mono Blue list is not finding their counterspells for the creatures. It must be like another negate and stuff in hand. Dude, we're going to take the 9. Like, there's a chance we just, like, wrap it up next turn. Ah, terror. Yep, get a blocker down. That probably means we need to save a blocker or the Seat of the Empire for the Haughty Djinn. Or just play Brutal Cathar. Brutal Cathar, take out terror. So we go 1-2. Buff everything twice, that's 8, right? And then we have 16, 19 total if we buff everything. Then they still got the terror blocker. I think I'm doing that math correct. So if we do this, pick up terror, pay 2. We have double blockers on the ground though is the thing. So let's attempt Brutal Cathar, take out the, Man, I'd love to swing though, I really would. They might trade, though. They don't know we have the second Adeline, guys. They don't know we have it. No, they're going to take the 6 here. That's good for us. Having Seat of the Empire open is great. And we're actually just going to save the Intrepid Adversary to help us wrap this up then. I don't know, man. Kind of feels like Mono Blue isn't seeing too much here, but I mean, seeing 3 of their big chunky creatures is pretty good, so. Fading Hope for Cathar isn't even that great, you know what I mean? They would need Fading Hope for Cathar and a way to, I mean, we'll take that trade and take 5. How do you guys feel about that? Not even gonna chump. I don't know if Mono Blue has like a great way to get that excess damage through here. Fading Hope, okay. And again, we can just play that again next turn. But then, yeah, it's not like it has haste or anything. Oh, I see, I see. I see. So we ended up chumping with the Adeline. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about that, honestly. It was a good play from the opponent. So if we would have double blocked, we could have tried to guarantee. Okay, okay. Well, now we're in trouble. Pick up the Haughty Djinn again. And we probably want to play this now, even though buffing it a few times would be better. What don't we want to block with? Because now they could have Fading Hope number 4 in hand, bounce the adversary. Got like 10 on the board, but we're at 6. Keep the 5/5 as a blocker, I guess. It's tough because, yeah, we could block, and then they could bounce adversary, and then it's just a chump again, like last turn, so it depends, it depends. We might even double block. How do we want to do this? If they had red in here, I'd be sweating, dude. But I don't think they have a way to get that last damage through if we just block here. I think we're allowed keeping the Intrepid Adversary and going down to 1. I think that's completely fine, since they're just mono blue, you know what I mean? A good game, opponent. Honestly, thank you for dropping the GGs as well, because, like, I think that's the first time in a couple weeks. I honestly, I don't know. Sometimes I don't pay attention because I'm too busy talking. I'm like too busy talking about what just happened in the match and everything. Yeah, so far so good, guys. I'm liking it. I could have played that one out a little bit better too. The block with Adeline was super risky there. It really was. I wasn't thinking about a third Fading Hope. After the third one, of course, I had to think about the fourth one too then. Ooh. Okay, I think this is fine. We have a chance to draw more creatures too. More mono red. All right. We can get there. We can get there. I mean, Vindicator in hand. I mean, if we can somehow not perish, like next turn, next 2 turns, right? Get Vindicator down is just brutal for mono red. It is just a big old chunky brick wall. Wow, we're seeing invasion again here. Huh. Am I missing something? This isn't the same person, is it? It might be. Wow, 3 damage to our face. They have Shivan Devastator. Cool. Very cool. They might even be able to flip this, like, now. So we should probably chump. Even though Knight-Errant... Oh, they're swinging face. We should probably play the Knight-Errant next turn so we have better blocks. Yeah. I mean, we're already down to 9, guys. We really didn't get to do too much. Like, Vindicator being 4 mana, sure, it works great against mono red, but we're at 9. Dude, like, what on earth? Is this even the play? I guess so. I guess, like, Steel Seraph is great too. Oh, saw a lot of 3-drop creatures there, but Thalia's good. They might even just want to play Devastator swing at face. Like, I don't know if they want to focus this invasion at all. Just everything to face. If we can get the Vindicator down before their burn ends us, then maybe. There's a possibility. Down to 8. We'll have more chump blockers next turn, so we don't got to worry about that. I don't know if they get Swift Spear above the Knight. They'd have to play 2 more things, and I think that would be pretty lucky overall. If they had actually 2 more things, like 2 Play With Fires in their 3-card hand here. I don't know. I feel like that would be a little bit too lucky, so I think it's a safe bet to block the Swift Spear. Okay. Wonder what their last card in hand is then. Lightning Strike. Down to 3. I don't know if we're gonna get there, guys. We could go lifelink off the Steel Seraph. Lifelink onto the Knight. Back up to 7. It's not enough, is it? Devastator's going to be a 3-3 in the sky, but we'll have a 3-3 in the sky as well to block it. Maybe. Lifelink. Keep chump blockers back just in case there's a lot of speed on the ground. Man, I lost hope there for a second, but Steel Seraph, the lifelink is pretty good, man. If we don't block in the air, the lifelink next turn might be fine. It's going to be another lightning strike. Wow. Did we double block the Feldon? I think so. I think we double block that Feldon, guys. Do we? Do we? They see 2 cards off the top. We know their last card in hand. It is it's a Devastator. So let's see what they see off the top here. See if there's anything they can play this turn. Hey, nice! Oh, buddy. That's 3 damage to our face, down to 4 at any point. Mono red could get there, guys. At any point. We gotta be prepared. Commando's flipping next turn. Yeah, dude, wow. Tough call there. We could have just taken the 2 from Feldon, but at some point, we gotta get rid of the Feldon, so... more blockers on the ground. And the Vindicator. I mean, Vindicator first. And, that's fine. Yeah, we just hope they don't top deck a thing that can do 4 damage right away, which, if this is like mono-red battles, they have a good chance, I would say, at this point, right? Because there's that one battle that just does 4 damage to the face. Really? We got there, guys. I'm shocked by the concede. I feel like there could have been a really good chance that they saw the burn, at least in the next couple turns, because it's not like we were going to win the game next turn, you know what I mean? They had at least a couple more draws, if nothing else. The lifelink, man, Steel Seraph, yeah. Woo! Feels good, guys. Feels good. Let's keep the ball rolling. What do we got here? A Pugnacious Pugilist. I actually really like that card. Our little pug buddy. Way back when that set first released, we did, of course, every set we do mono red aggro. That's always our first deck for every new set, right? And the Pugnacious was on the top end, and it was solid, dude. It really was. Okay. We go first here. It's kind of like I said before. It's not like we have too many 1-drops in here, so this is completely fine. Yeah, no, that's a great draw. We'll keep that open. If they drop a land, counter it, then we might have a chance of getting Adeline down. So they don't want to counter this. They want to counter our 3-drop for sure. At that point, we want to... Okay, Adeline number 2 off the top tells us we just go for it. We just go for it, man. Get that counter spell out of their hand. Swing on and... Oh, Experimental Augury. It's going to be a great swing for us, guys. Gonna be 3 coming through, and if we see a land off the top, we have a potential for an Intrepid Adversary buff, which is very brutal, so I'm glad we went first right about now. Looks like control. Definitely control. We have 2 open. They go make disappear. We have the 2, at least Adversary still lands. If they don't, if it's just a straight up counterspell, I think that's fine too. Alright, we pay the 2. Probably going to be spot removal then, I would imagine. Ooh, opponent? Spot removal? You're gonna want some spot removal here, buddy. Oh my goodness. Okay, board wipe next turn. Gotta be a board wipe then. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't want to not try that, right? Like, even if it's gonna be a depopulate, which I mean, I can only imagine it's land depopulate. It's not like we want to do as much damage early on as possible. So I think that was, I think everything we did there was fine. Elesh Norn's great, but like, I don't know. I don't think it was one of our 3 drops there because we have 5 mana. So like Adeline being played next turn will get around like a make disappear or something. At this point in the control match, now is the time where they want to gain life. A Fool to populate just to take care of the Elesh Norn. Wow. As 2 depopulates down, if it's going to be spot removal, we want to actually play Intrepid Adversary this turn too. If it's depopulate number 3, I guess this one was written in the stones already then, right? Yeah, just getting 2 creatures down. They're 2 depopulates out. So like, number 3 is not guaranteed in their hand. Oh, 6 mana though. Oh, back up to 6. Yep. That's a problem, guys. More mana. We do this before combat, but now they have 4 mana open for a Wandering Emperor. When I saw the 6 mana, my first thought was going to be, wow, just to straight up dissipate. Easy block there. Easy block into the 1/1. We only have Adeline remaining. Keeping Intrepid Adversary back doesn't necessarily seem like the right play either, but it does. If it doesn't die, then it keeps the Adeline a little bit more stocked. I was gonna say they probably still chump. Anyways, what's the 6 mana removal that I can't remember the name of right now? Like, my least favorite card in Standard. I can't remember it. That's how much I don't like the card, guys. I like to forget about it. Well, it wasn't White Sun's Twilight, but that is a great way to wrap up the game. That's so brutal, man. That's brutal stuff, dude. Yeah, if they didn't have spot removal or the second to populate, I wonder if that Elesh Norn would have been enough. This one's the opponent's, guys, unfortunately. And we are 32 minutes in, so if they don't figure out how to wrap up the game here in a couple turns, like if they don't swing with the mites, we might just end up giving it to them. We'll at least see 1 more card off the top, though. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, control opponents that actually wrap up games, I don't mind actually letting them play it out a little bit, so 6 mana Steel Seraph is excellent. Oh, unless there's a make disappear left in their hand, right? I mean, at this point, it's probably just like, what, Vigilance? Swing at face. They gained a ton of life, but like, there might be a chance through. It really depends. Teferi's a problem, though. If we would have swung it to Teferi, then there could have been an option to potentially get rid of it with the Steel Seraph. Actually, if they don't draw more cards here, there's still a chance of getting rid of it with Teferi. 6 poison. Got to be prepared for the White Sun's Twilight number 2, unfortunately. Up to 6 poison. Ah, depopulate number 3, guys. Hey, Brutal Cathar. Alright. I don't know if a single Brutal Cathar is going to be enough, but I'm the type of person who plays it out till the very end, and the opponent at least knows that they have to attack in with mites. We've gone up against people who just like to save the mites sometimes, so at least they know that they're trying to actually win and not just deck us out by having a really long game. So I say we stick this out a little bit longer, just in case. Just in case. And guys, always feel free. There's chapters at the bottom of the video or down in the description. There's timestamps. Feel free. Skip ahead. We are 34 minutes in, so I think we have time for one more because this is a relatively fast deck. Oh, Silver Scrutiny. Let's go. See, it's like I said, this opponent knows how to how to wrap up a game still, so that's nice. Some control decks are just absolutely miserable. I mean, I don't got to tell you guys that. Some of them are just awful, and they have one win condition packed in their 60 card deck. So this one probably has the 2 win conditions, is my assumption here. You know what we should have done? We should have switched it to nighttime. Yeah, I should have switched it to nighttime for sure. Yeah, White Sun's Twilight, probably a 4 of, and Teferi, probably a 2 of, and those are probably the win conditions. And having 6 win conditions in a control deck is probably enough, I would say. Just take the 9, right? And see what we see. I do like seeing more cards off the top, so. It's crazy that this thing has Vigilance, dude. Oh my goodness. Mind Splice Apparatus, cool, cool. Now it switches to nighttime. We'll have to chump the 9/9. And we'll see if they switch it back to daytime, which would be pretty funny. Actually, they're going to have the -12 on Teferi anyways. Chooses a permanent they control, returns it to its owner's hand. Silver Scrutiny. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm willing to bet this opponent doesn't, that the opponents that this opponent goes up against doesn't let them play it out too often, so I'm sure this will be a fun swing for them. -12 on the Teferi. We'll choose Moonrage Brute. Oh, they're just gonna full swing. I mean, we are forced to block here, but now we painfully survive another turn. At this point, yeah, they could just generate another spirit then. They might as well. Continue to go wide with spirits. Last time we played with Teferi, it was kind of insane. This is really good. I'm surprised we don't see more of this. It is 5 mana, I guess, and we are seeing like a lot of mono red and stuff. Get a good swing in, opponent. I'll drop the GGs for you. Oh, I keep forgetting to use my new emotes, guys. Oh man, we had so many great victories today too. Like this, I brought this up before. This new Chandra emote is so obnoxious. I'm actually afraid to play it because it's so obnoxious. But yeah, you have to wait for like a good victory, a good, fast, clean victory to play that one. I keep forgetting though. I'll try in the next one. Opponent, I'm letting you play it out, opponent. Swing in. Let's drop him the GGs here. Give him my old favorite emote. Okay, opponent. Jeez, man. I don't have all the time in the world. I do like to let them swing in, but, you know, they were just playing around at that point. That's funny, though. I think that could have gone either way. You know, call me crazy, man. Call me crazy. That was a lot of board wipes. I think the deck is definitely fast enough, and we might want to consider more 1-drops, honestly. We might. It's definitely something to consider. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? I saw a turn 2 Thalia, and I was like, okay. But now I'm looking at it, and I'm like, crap, what if it happens again where we don't see our 3rd mana for a few turns? Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Hey, 3rd mana, let's go. All right, we're going to make it a little bit harder to cast things, which means it's probably going to be a 2 mana play with fire, take out Thalia, right? I mean, we've been there with mono red quite a few times, so. Oh, wow. And the Festivities also gets there. It's going to be a mechanized warfare version of this, huh? Yep. Going first here was so good for us, guys. Vindicator coming down early. I don't even know. I literally don't know what mono red does against Vindicator at all, except for mono red mid-range, which would potentially play Mightstone and Weakstone, right? No blocks. Take a little bit of extra damage here, but like, we have lifelink on Adversary. They're going to double down on Adeline anyways. So if we would have blocked, they would have only had to play 1 burn for Adeline. And at this point, man, look at this Vindicator, dude. I don't even know. I don't know. The fact that we don't see Vindicator in any mono white, like, I don't understand. You guys will have to let me know. Have you been playing a mono white list like this at all? I mean, look at this. What do I even, like, I feel so bad at this point. What a draw, dude. I mean, we might as well just go lifelink, get some life back, and play the, why not? Let's just play the adversary. More creatures on the board for the Knight-Errant is the best case scenario, right? Invoke Calamity. Nice. Opponent. Nice. Taking out our creatures, swinging in with the Swift Spear. That's cool. That's good, man. That's really good. An extra damage from the Warfare as well. It's going to be 5 swinging through. I mean, yeah. Cool. I'm surprised to see Invoke Calamity as this. Actually. Huh. Yeah, I think we swing. I think we put them on the clock and just play the Knight, which of course we don't get anything for. It's just a 4/4 at this point. Yeah, you don't see Invoke Calamity too often outside of my list, right? But I'm relatively positive that this is not my list from earlier this season. Yeah, GG opponent. GG. We had 9 on the board too, and I really don't know how they would have come back from that. They would have needed to go first for sure. I absolutely adore the Invoke Calamity edition. The way this card pairs with the new Urabrask as well. It's really good. So that tells me this was probably an Urabrask build with Mechanized Warfare as well. Wait, did I run Mechanized Warfare? I honestly have no clue. I have no idea. Look, guys, we got a pack. Let's crack a pack. Oh, we got 2 packs? Let's go, guys. Crack some packs real quick. Oh, I think I actually collected everything from Dominaria. I think that was the first set where I actually collected everything. I loved Dominaria. It's so good. Ooh, a Judith. The actual rare for standard, though, was a Rona. Cool. I think that's my second one, actually. Very nice. Very, very nice. Especially if I consider the Joda humans at some point, right? Creature aggro. Here's the list again, guys. I wouldn't change too much. I wouldn't. I think it's solid. I do. I could see dropping like 1 adversary and going up. I don't think you want the 4th Vindicator, though. Like, think about if we saw a Vindicator and then like a 2nd Vindicator or something against that control deck. How bad that would have been, right? It would have been really bad. But we are up against enough mono red to say 3 is worth it. The Elesh Norn didn't do too much. I could see dropping down to 1 of these. Drop an adversary, drop an Elesh Norn, go up a couple pieces of removal. We have the Elspeth Smite, but we didn't see it, and we also had the Seat of the Empire that we didn't get to use with the channel ability today either. Something to consider too if you drop the Elesh Norn. You know, we do have legendary creatures in here, making the seat cost less. If you drop the Elesh Norn, that's just 1 less legendary creature that you have to make the seat cost less too. So, I mean, that is definitely something to consider. I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if I would change too much from this list, though. I think we need to play a lot more to know for sure. Steel Seraph was so powerful today, guys. The extra lifelink really went the extra mile. So maybe go up a 3rd Steel Seraph too. I could definitely see that. Even though you don't pick it up easily with the Knight-Errant, that's fine. There's actually, yeah, there's a few ways to optimize. Maybe keep the Intrepid Adversaries, right? Because the lifelink on this was great, and being able to buff a wide board state is excellent still, right? Drop a single Elesh Norn, just because it didn't do too much today, and it is a little bit slower than the rest of the build too. Drop that Elesh Norn, go up a 3rd Steel Seraph. I think you'll be thoroughly satisfied with a 3rd Steel Seraph and a single Elesh Norn. Yeah, I think that's it. Guys, there's not a lot to go over here. I think this is just solid. I think this would be a great way to rank up. Honestly, I might use this to get up to Platinum at some point, unless we accidentally get to Platinum just from the videos too. Yeah, no, I like this one, guys. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. What would you add or take out, of course? I think Knight-Errant of Eos is just one of those cards. Like, it's like paired with Resolute Reinforcements and everything else in here and going wide with the Adeline too, I don't know, dude. Card seems super, super strong. Being able to potentially grab just 2 creatures back, restocking your hand, and an aggro build is so essential in trying to keep up with the mid-range and control matchups, especially. If you are up against mono red, at this point, I do think we might actually be favored, especially if you go first. I mean, look at that last game. Got great blockers in here, like Thalia's first strike and everything too, and just Thalia in general being an absolute pain in the butt for mono red as well. Hopefully Initiate didn't do nearly as much as I wanted it to today, so we could consider that other soldier 1-drop that was in the honorable mentions too. I think like fully trading it out might not be the best bet, because there are going to be moments where those removing 2 counters from this to destroy artifact or enchantment is actually just gonna like win you the game after they power up a bank buster to block you or something. So yeah, there are gonna be moments where Hopeful Initiate just wins you games. But if you don't have the Hopeful Initiate, like this is a rare, and this rare is rotating out later this year. Recruitment Officer is an uncommon, so I think you could have all 4 Recruitment Officers in here and still be relatively happy with your 1-drops. If you do that, you might want to consider a Destroy Evil at least to be able to hit enchantments or something. At that point, you don't have anything in here to pick up artifacts though, so really depends, guys. Hey, thanks so much for being here. If you made it this far in the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.